victims. Some say he dressed the android in the clothes of the last person he murdered. It's thought that the android sings "I feel fantastic" because that's what the murderer wanted his victims to say as they were being killed. Creepier still, halfway through the song the verse changes to "Please leave, run, run, run." The video is often linked to a man named John Bergeron and a website called AndroidWorld.com. They say he created Tara the singing android as a sort of artsy experiment, but Bergeron has never come forward. The video is so perplexing it spawned numerous copycat videos and even its own creepypasta. This unsettling video was sent to our Facebook page a few months ago. The description reads, "I'm coming for you. All of you, you can't escape me. I need 1 million souls for transport back to hell. In 1 week, may I please have your soul? I'll take good care of it, I promise." It's basically 12 minutes of a guy dressed in a clown suit, drinking wine, coughing and spluttering, saying how he's going to collect our souls and take them back to hell.
"I will be back looking for you. All of you. And your souls. I want your souls."
Released in 2005, this highly experimental film by Ryan Tricarton makes you wonder whether someone slipped some acid into your morning bowl of Cap'n Crunch. Supposedly, this story follows protagonist Skippy as he leaves his troubled family in search of a better life. However, from what I can tell, it just seems to be 40 minutes of gratuitous psychedelic imagery performed by a group of stoned art students. Either way, the production quality is undeniably creepy and wholly unsettling.
"Son, Dad, what you want? Son, Dad, son, Dad. Yeah."
Begotten is an experimental film released in 1990 by director E. Elias Mehig. It is 1 hour and 12 minutes of dark, twisted reality. It's like you've developed an uneasy fever of which there is no recovery. The film is a distorted retelling of the Bible's Genesis. The opening is probably the most notable and disturbing scene. It depicts God disemboweling himself as he writhes about covered in blood. This very unsettling YouTube clip began circulating around 2014. It's fairly hard to describe, so it's probably best we just watch a little. This version has been edited to be extra creepy with dubbed sound and overlaid visual effects. The original, titled Transfiguration, is actually by a performance artist named Olivia de Sagazan. The first iteration of the piece appeared in 2001 and has since been in constant change as the artist seeks to challenge the viewer in new ways. Well, I'd say it's been very successful because I'm currently in need of a fresh pair of pants. Well, I'm a little unsettled. How about you? As always, thanks heaps for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you're watching this video on the can. Remember to follow us on Twitter @SlapTam for daily Did You Know facts. And this is our Slap Time.
Planet Dolan.
From finding a mysterious creature to seeing ground that breathes, we count 7 creepy things found in the woods. Hello there, my name is Nixium, Lord of the Dead, and today I will be reading the words on this here piece of paper for your enjoyment. Number 7. Wessie of Maine. Hikers in the Riverbank Park stumbled across something that you normally wouldn't see on a hiking trail, at least in rural Maine. It was a snake skin, but not from some little garter snake. It was 10 feet long. Locals have seen the creature slithering all over the area. The police once even saw it eat a beaver. The snake is even referred to as Wessie, as a homage to not only their region, but also to the Loch Ness Monster. Though it appears the snake hasn't hurt anybody, police still warn locals to be careful and report any sightings to them. It's presumed that the snake itself was a pet python that was no longer wanted by its owner and had been dumped in the park. Number 6. Cabin in the Woods. What sounds like a regular horror movie trope is actually something that exists, or existed in the California wilderness. When a resident of Arcata, California walked through the Arcata Community Forest, he noticed a small cabin that was seemingly invisible amidst the thick vegetation. He called the police, as it's illegal for people to camp or to lodge in the forest. When the police came, they unlocked the cabin and they went inside. They found a small living space with canned goods, a water supply, and even a library. It appeared that the cabin was being maintained by someone since 2010. Before the police left, they hung a sign on the cabin that said that the person must pack up their things and vacate the cabin. However, a few days later, the police didn't find anybody in the cabin because the entire cabin had been taken apart. The only thing that remained in the spot was the International Squatters symbol, and to make it even creepier, there were no signs of machinery or vehicles being in that area, and nobody saw anybody taking the cabin apart. Number 5. The California Alien. A California forest appears once again on this list, but this time it's on the edge of a woman's backyard. San Jose resident Gianna Paponis heard a scream one night and went out to investigate. She found what appeared to be a pink, slimy alien. It was already dead when Gianna saw it, and she quickly took pictures of the thing and posted it on her Facebook. Understandably, she asked her Facebook friends, what could it be? While there is speculation of what the thing is, there seems to be a consensus that it's the fetus of a deer. A picture of a whole deer fetus was also posted, and the two pictures were compared. The fetus Gianna found in her yard that night was probably halfway eaten by other animals. But regardless of what it is, finding something like that can still be a bit unsettling. Number 4. Holocaust artifacts. One of the most notoriously horrible historical events was the Holocaust, where Jews were held in concentration camps where they either died of natural causes or by the hands of Nazi soldiers. At a concentration camp in Poland, something really creepy was found that wasn't inside the actual camp, but in the woods nearby. At the Stutthof concentration camp, now a museum, a hike through the woods revealed various artifacts that included pieces of prisoner uniforms, belts, and shoes. The items were about a foot deep in the ground and spread out over hundreds of square yards, which isn't too surprising, as about 85,000 of the 110,000 prisoners died there. One employee, who had worked there for over 30 years, said that nobody had ever noticed that those things were in the woods until now. Number 3. Take a breather. Strange living things can be found in the woods. Hikers may pay attention to the plants and the animals, but completely take for granted the ground. But that wasn't the case of one Canadian man. Brian et al. Took a walk through a Nova Scotia forest one day when he came across a strange sight. the ground was moving. And no, it wasn't an earthquake. The ground appeared to be breathing. Brian even filmed it, and he posted the video in a Facebook group called We Love Nova Scotia. While the sight might be a little creepy and strange, Brian believes it could have been the work of the very strong winds that day, blowing under the blanket of the forest floor, thanks to trees in the area being cut down and smaller roots being loosened by the winds. When the strong winds blow under the forest floor, it pushes the floor up. This may be speculation, but it is still a rational explanation. Number 2. Underground bunker. Another artifact from World War II appears again, but this time, it's an entire building. This isn't just any building though, but an underground bunker in a forest in Germany. While walking through the forest, a group of friends stumbled across a pair of curved periscopes sticking out of the ground. Upon investigation, they found an entrance to an underground bunker, and they went inside armed with a camera. They went down the various corridors, some straight, others curved. There were many dead ends and odd findings, such as some graffiti that said, "Hello Satan, I love you," a strange painting of black lines on a wall, a pair of gloves, and a shoe stuck in mud. Before their camera died, the friends managed to take a picture of a strange white substance that was hanging from the ceiling. And after that, they left the mysterious bunker. Number 1. Suicide Forest. Dead bodies are sometimes found in forests, especially for Aokigahara, located on the base of Mount Fuji, Japan. More commonly referred to as Suicide Forest, this place is one of the top 3 most famous places to commit suicide in the world. In 2002, 78 bodies were found, 105 in 2003, and 54 in 2010. Even though it was estimated that 200 people attempted suicide that year. There have even been annual searches for bodies by officials and volunteers since 1970. Since all the suicides began, officials have been trying to prevent more suicides from happening by posting a sign that urges suicidal visitors to seek help and to think about how their act would affect their families. Despite their best attempts, however, people still commit suicide in the Suicide Forest every year. It seems I must leave you now, mortals, but don't worry. I shall return. The 57-year-old Texas woman went into the house one night while the 2 girls were out of town with their father and their brother was out. She went to the girls' bedrooms and she set them on fire. When she was done, Martha closed the doors to try and contain the fire.
Number 5. The Bohemian Club Ritual. The Bohemian Club is a private group of more than 1,500 men believed to be part of the Illuminati. Most of the members of this group are musicians, businessmen, and powerful politicians. Former U.S. Presidents Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon were notable members of this group. Every month of July, members of the club meet in the forest near Monte Rio, California, and perform several rituals during their stay. One of the rituals is called the cremation of care. In this ritual, they sacrifice a human dummy by burning it in a 40-foot-long concrete owl statue. The concept of this ritual is to get rid of the internal guilt or fear from our world leaders. There are serious conspiracies that loom around this ritual. Some people believe that this group sacrifices a real human in this ritual. Alex Jones, a conspiracy theorist, was able to sneak up in the forest and filmed a portion of the event. The old footage shows the horrific screaming of a person during the sacrifice, which sparked the conspiracy.
Fire shall have its will of thee. Begone, don't care, and all the